Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. I'm tired of shit.
Hello friends and my lovely viewers. Welcome back to the channel of Prettiness. Today, we will take a look at a brand new hybrid champion. He is a mixture of the Kojiki clan and the Shoten clan, which means he is a mage/warrior type. In my opinion, he looks absolutely amazing, and thus he better not be a disappointment. Anyways, for today's video, we will check out his active, passive and ultimate skill. Then we will take a look at his inherited traits and discuss which additional traits to choose for this specific hybrid. Let us start off with his active skill. Silent Domain. He will create a 4-second spell in the densest area of enemies. Enemies within the spell take 250% damage based on the hybrid strength per second and are silenced. Allies inside the spell gain 12% critical rate. When the spell disappears, our hybrid will gain a shield worth 60% of the total damage dealt by the spell. This already looks really good. Our hybrid does quite a lot of things in one skill. He deals area-based damage to possibly multiple enemies, where the damage dealt relies on his strength. So this indicates we may need a strength-related trait. If allies are also within this area, they will gain 12% critical rate, which is a nice support to have if most of the teammates are DPS close range type of champs. And additionally, when this area-based spell disappears, 60% of the total damage our hybrid dealt in the spell will turn into a shield for our hybrid. It only covers the caster, aka our hybrid, which kinda sucks. But having some extra protection is always a good deal, especially if it turns out to be dealing high amounts of damage, as it might make him a bigger target in the enemy's eyes. We are off to a pretty good start, and I especially like that it deals 250% damage to multiple enemies 4 times. As it happens every second, and the spell lasts for 4 seconds, it can add up to quite a lot of damage, you know. So yeah, let's check out the passive skill next. Durable Link. Our hybrid will select a teammate to link with. The back row champs are a priority to him. He will grant 25% increase in strength to both himself and the chosen champion. If the teammate he linked with happens to die, then he will simply link with another teammate. Our hybrid starts with 3 masks. Each breaks upon taking lethal damage, and this causes fear effect on the enemy for 2 seconds, as well as gives our hybrid a shield equal to 10% of the max constitution for 30 seconds. When our hybrid gains the shield, the Link champion also gains a shield worth 70% of our hybrid's shield. This is kinda interesting. Unlike the active skill, where close range DPS allies are the most benefited champs, in this passive skill of his, our hybrid is mostly focusing his support on back row champs. So placing the DPS allies in the back row seems to be very important for this to have any effect at all. Anyways, about this skill, I personally think it sounds decent. He buffs an ally with 25% strength and creates a shield for both himself and the Link if he so happens to take lethal damage. There is no direct damage dealing going on, but of course, it is the passive skill after all, so we cannot expect the ultimate cool stuffs to happen in here. That reminds me, let's check out his ultimate and final skill. Cursed Breath. He will summon 3 giant and attackable masks around the densest area of enemies, which release evil gas in front of them for 4 seconds. This deals damage that ignores defense and block. Each mask deals a total of 613.3% damage based on our hybrid strength. Enemies that are hit by the gas cannot gain energy and take 20% increased damage for 3 seconds. This sounds good, not gonna lie. He deals a great amount of damage and debuffs the enemy targets. The enemies cannot defend or block his mask attack, since it is gas. And the enemies cannot gain energy, and they also take 20% increased damage for 3 seconds. So overall, the impact of 613.3% damage based on our hybrid strength multiplies by 3 since we have 3 masks, and it becomes an even bigger impact to the enemy as the defense and block is useless. I honestly think all of his skills work really well together as a whole. He focuses mainly on both DPS and support, so he's not purely out there to slay enemies. Regardless, I'm personally giving a thumbs up to his skills. Let us talk about his traits now. The first clan trait he has is called Energy Regen. When this trait reaches level 22, he will gain 240 energy when taking active skill or ultimate attack damage. The cooldown is 8 seconds. I think this skill gives a great balance overall. It helps him launch his skills more often with the additional energy. And the cooldown may be a little bit long, since the battles don't usually last for too long. But honestly, it looks very suitable, and all it takes is for the enemy to launch either active or ultimate skill attacks at our hybrid. I'm giving it a thumbs up. The second clan trait is called Ritual of Wind. At level 22, this is the effect. Our hybrid gains 18% increase in strength if an ally champion dies. This buff lasts for 4 seconds and can stack up to 2 layers. I mean, I don't like the fact that it has a time limit. If it was more permanent, then I would definitely love it. This is also a trait that can help us deal tons of damage, but depending on the timing of when we launch his skills and whatnot, we may not deal as much damage as we possibly could. Cause the buff only lasts for 4 seconds, and our champion could be launching no skills at all during that time. You know, it is kinda unpredictable, and based on luck. But still, even so, this trait suits him perfectly. He deals quite a lot of damage overall, and this gives him another opportunity to deal more damage. I'm giving it a thumbs up. Now, as for the 3 free slots, I will start off by suggesting the trait called Brutal. A level 22 Brutal trait increases the strength of our hybrid by 45%. This is kind of an essential trait to boost his damage dealing. For the second slot, I'm thinking of the trait called Energetic. This trait will at level 22 increase our hybrid's constitution by 45%. I'm recommending this type of trait mainly because of his passive skill, where the shield is dependent on the max constitution. But I'm also choosing this specific type of trait to make him more durable on the battlefield. We don't want him to be squishy, you know. As for the last slot, it is more flexible, but I suggest we put a trait called Fierce to increase his total damage. It looks like the most suitable trait for him, in my opinion at least. But of course, you can try other traits if you feel like it or if you want to experiment on him. Well, that was pretty much all I had to say for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to leave a like or subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up with our content. You may also comment below if you have any questions or thoughts about this hybrid. Thanks a lot for watching, you all. Hope you have a great week, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, stay foxy, adios, bye!